Welcome to Laying Fallow. I'm Donna Von Bruning. Today I speak with Sydnie Roberds. Sydnie was an orchestra major at Savannah Arts Academy. She received a full ride to the University of Iowa as a National Merit Scholar. She graduated from the University of Iowa this past May 2024 and remains in Boise to pursue a career as a veterinarian. I start with your quote.
Okay.
Do you remember what you said? Probably not.
No idea.
So long ago, right? For most people, the PSAT is kind of a joke, and they don't put a lot of effort into it. I felt the same way and didn't study. However, when I received my scores, I realized they were extremely high enough to be eligible to be a National Merit Scholar. After a few rounds of applications, I was named a National Merit finalist. Due to this honor, I obtained a full ride to the University of Idaho, go Vandals, saving my family tens of thousands of dollars in college tuition. I never ever would have been able to attend college out of state. I'm going sight unseen thanks to the coronavirus, and I am so excited. I learned the smallest things can present the largest opportunities. I urge everyone to look for opportunities in everything and to do your best because the insignificant can lead to the greatest adventure. Pretty good.
Yeah, that was. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Right? Some people are like, oh my God, it's so cringy, but most people's aren't. So tell me what you did.
Like I said in my quote, in August of 2020, I moved out to Idaho, sight unseen. I had just done like virtual tours of the school.
Didn't know a soul.
Didn't know a single person. My mom has some family in like California, and that was the closest that I had. But yeah, so my parents drove me out and then got me set up in my dorm and then took off. Idaho was a lot better than a lot of the other schools during COVID, just because it's smaller than like UGA or like tech or things like that. So I was still able to have some in-person classes, or we would do like hybrid where half the class would be in person, half would be online. So that was pretty cool. And then I was undecided when I started. I was kind of interested in a couple different things, and I ended up taking an animal science class and just completely fell in love with that. So I declared that as my major. Yeah, went through my 4-year program, got my bachelor's in animal science. Yeah, worked at the dairy at the University of Idaho for 2 years, which was the absolute coolest experience because we're doing pretty much everything. Like there's a manager and an assistant manager of the dairy, but then everybody else that works there is all students. So super good experience. So now I'm in Boise. Yeah, after college, I didn't really care where I ended up like moving to, but my boyfriend's from Boise and he wanted to move back. So I was like, okay, I'm good with that. So
you're an Idaho girl now, huh?
Yeah, so now I'm officially Idaho. But yeah, so now I'm here. I work at a vet clinic, which is super fun. And then I'm doing a master's program online in animal science.
Okay. And then what's the end goal of that?
End goal, once I graduate from my master's program, I'm going to apply to vet school. Hopefully go to vet school.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're for the long haul.
Yeah. I've got a lot left.
Small animal or big animal?
I don't know yet. Every day it switches. Like when I was working at the dairy, I was like large animal all the way. And now I don't know. So we'll see what happens.
Back to your quote. So, you said that it's the insignificant things that have happened like lead to adventure. You said that. Do you recognize that everywhere now? Like now that happened to you?
I feel like I do. Like I'm trying to think of like a good example. Oh, like my freshman year when I was in the dorms, I wasn't going to like go Greek, which is like wasn't in my cards, but my RA was in Greek life. And that kind of convinced me to join Greek life. And I think my life would have been so different if I didn't. Like all my friends are through there, or, all my good friends were from the sorority. Like it gave me a lot of different experiences and opportunities. But like it was just that little thing of like her being in Greek life and like talking to us about it, being like, if you're interested, I can help you guys, get started.
Yeah.
So,
Who'd you pledge?
Alpha Phi.
All right. I was the international president of mine. So
wow.
I went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So big school, and went through, and they were just starting. My sorority was just starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that'll be kind of neat. And I just went hook, line, and sinker and volunteered 27 years. So some of my best friends are people I met after.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm a huge proponent. I just think it's awesome. But anyway, that's cool. Okay. So did the journey of the past 4 years, was it anything like you thought it was going to be? Like when you were a junior year, like thinking, oh, I can't wait to go to college or whatever? Or was it completely different than how you thought it was going to be?
It was definitely very different.
You did go to Idaho.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to move to Idaho. I figured I would I knew I wanted to go out of state, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be like financially feasible because it's so much more expensive. But I thought if I did go out of state, I would go to like North Carolina or like Wisconsin, somewhere like that. Mm-hmm. Didn't think I would go all the way to the West Coast.
West. Yeah. Where's your family from?
So my mom's from Wisconsin.
Okay, that's what I thought.
My dad, so he's from North Carolina, but then his family was originally from Savannah.
Talk to me about loss. Like thinking back to like the end of school and then these 4 years, what was your biggest loss? And it could be anything. Doesn't have to be a person. It could be,
Yeah. I'm sure you heard about it on the news, but there was a group of students that got murdered at my college. Wow. It was during my junior year, I think. And one of the girls was a year above me in my sorority. And I kind of like knew of the other people. I wasn't like super, super close to her, but obviously in my sorority,
Yeah, the waves.
Yeah. So I think that was really hard. Yeah. And it was really hard watching the people that were super, super close to her go through it and like living with them and just experiencing
grief,
all of that. Yeah, grief.
What did you learn about grief?
I learned that everybody goes through grief very differently. Like there were some people that they just want to be alone and, isolated. And then some people needed more of like a community around them. And it also takes everyone different times to go through the process of the grief. So
switching gears, tell me what the greatest lesson has been since COVID took away your senior year till now. What do you think is the greatest lesson you learned?
I think to enjoy the moment because you don't know when stuff's going to go away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know that our senior year was going to end like that with COVID and everything. And yeah, I think just enjoying the moment.
Talking about traditions, because you guys didn't get the traditional end of school, and we did that motorcade graduation and all that. Do you find traditions, especially being a sorority woman, do you find traditions more important or less important? Like, do you hold on to them, or are you like, well, anything can happen, so whatever?
I think I value tradition. It's like nice to go through something that the people before you have also been through. But at the same point, there's times where sometimes there needs to be like a change, or there has to be a change, like during COVID. So I think when you can hold on to tradition, it's really impactful. Just, everybody else has also done the exact same thing that you're doing. But yeah, some traditions don't have to be kept.
Yeah. What was your Idaho graduation like? How important was that to you? Or did you not care as much?
I honestly didn't care as much. Mm-hmm. And I thought that I would. I thought that it'd be like super important because I didn't have a high school one. But I think because I didn't have a high school one, it made me like not care about the college one as much. My mom was like so excited for my college graduation, about it like being my first actual graduation.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed, walking and all that stuff. But yeah, I didn't really care that much.
Did Idaho, did they say anything about the fact that your class probably didn't have a high school graduation. Did they mention it?
They didn't, no.
Speaking of high school, when you guys left, like, because part of the reason that these interviews are kind of important, it's not that you guys lost high school graduation, it's that you lost that launch year. You know, yours sounded semi-normal. A lot of people just didn't have that.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's part of what we're talking about here. And so because of that, I know you went somewhere where you didn't know anyone, which is super, I think that's super amazing. I think it changes you as a person. Do you feel like in the summer, or even with the new people you met or people that you saw around you, because obviously a lot of people are from Idaho that went there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people held on to their high school relationships a little too much, or the people that they went through COVID with? Or did you feel like people were just ready to meet people, or it was too hard to meet people?
For me personally, it was pretty hard to meet people until I joined the sorority. Like, I had the people on my dorm floor, but I didn't connect with them super well. And then outside of that, you know, we did have like some in-person class, but it was still hard to meet people. But yeah, I think that a lot of people kind of stuck with people from high school. I'm not sure if that's like a all the time sort of thing that it happens every year. But yeah, like a lot of the people that like went to high school together would like rush the same sorority or rush the same fraternity and things like that. So definitely there's people trying to hold on to that.
That's got to be hard for you to break into, you know, because there's a lot of hometown circles there.
Oh, yeah.
They've been together forever. What was it like not knowing anyone? And are you glad you did that?
I'm very glad I did that. At first, I don't know, it felt fine at first. And then after a couple weeks, I was like, oh, I feel like so like alone, like I don't really know anybody. And then once I joined the sorority, it got a lot better. Joining the sorority was weird because of COVID. We weren't allowed. So the way that Idaho does it is freshmen move into the house, and the house is freshmen, sophomores, and then some of the juniors, which is different than, you know, a lot of other places.
Yeah.
And then our recruitment is before school starts. So I didn't go through formal recruitment, but I did continuous open bidding. And so normally if you go through continuous open bidding, either you move into the house like right after you sign, or, you know, you're free to come into the house and do whatever all the time. So I wasn't able to move in. And then I also wasn't able to go into the house. So I could go, we had like picnic tables, and I could go like eat lunch with people outside, but I wasn't allowed to go into the house. So yeah, that was weird. There was like 6 or 7 of us that did COB around the same time. So we all became really close because we all like lived in the dorms. And so for a little bit, it was almost like this like separation between like the people that lived in the house and then the people that didn't, because it was hard to interact back and forth.
That makes sense. So do they, like, if you are a freshman going through just out of curiosity and you rush before, do they let you out of the dorm contract to move into the house? Does the university own the housing?
If you're going to go through recruitment, you don't sign a dorm contract. So you're required to either live in the dorms your freshman year or in Greek life.
Wow, that's interesting.
If you're planning on rushing, you don't sign a dorm contract. And then like, I don't know, 95% of people that rush end up in a house. So then those ones that don't, there's still some like spaces in the dorms, and then they sign contracts and move into the dorms. But yeah, most people.
That's kind of crazy that you don't know where you're going to live if you're rushing.
Yeah.
That's a little nuts.
Yeah, they have like just like these like storage containers, and they put all their stuff in there, and then the girls and the guys stay at the dorms for a week during rush and then move in.
Got it. So when I went to go do some research on your class in specific, like looking like, surely to God, somebody has done a little research on this high school class of 2020. And again, because you didn't have the launch year, like, yeah, I get graduation, and there was really nothing. It was more focused on the college people that graduated into recession and couldn't find jobs. But what they did say was that COVID, they labeled it for you guys a trauma. Would you say trauma is the right word or too dramatic? I mean, how do you feel about it?
I feel like it's the right word. like kind of going through any trauma, people react differently. And kind of like we were talking about the different ways that you process grief, people process it differently. And for me, I did pretty okay during it, but I know that there was plenty of people that really, really struggled during it. So I think trauma is like the right word for it. It was a big change and affected basically everything in your life. So
do you think that your class, like say you're coming up on your 5-year reunion, not that you'd fly back here for that, but usually it's just everybody meets at a bar. But when you meet other people who are class of 2020, do you feel like a little bit of a trauma bond with them? Like you guys had this weird experience? Or no, like you don't really think that exists?
It might for other people. For me personally, I don't feel it, but I can see that it happens with other people. Yeah.
Talk to me. We're going to switch gears now. Talk to me a little bit about social media. Like what role does it play in your life? Do you think that was the role increased because of COVID? Like, how do you use it? Tell me what you do.
I don't know. It kind of changes like month to month. Yeah, I feel like everybody that's like my age, I watch too many TikToks because it's set up to like make you like addicted to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like especially during COVID, it was really helpful to like stay connected with people and then to meet new people. I don't know if all schools did this, but Idaho set up like a Instagram page for the class of 2024 before I started. And so you could like submit like a couple photos and then like a little bit about you. And it helped to kind of like meet different people. So I feel like in some ways it was really helpful during COVID. Just like stay socially involved. I don't know, lately I've been not really using social media as much. It's just, I don't know, just
it's what I hear from everybody.
Boring almost. And like
it is boring. Yeah. What is interesting about your age in particular, probably like 23, 22, maybe 21, is you guys were the first digital natives. So you've had all this stuff from birth. But when you got your first phones, middle school, high school, or whatever, and you did have social media, Snapchat, Instagram, they were like baby formats, like new. And so there wasn't like the algorithms weren't there. They weren't addicting. So I feel like you're the first or the last, I should say, group of people that knows what life is like without that, without being addicted to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny. People are either like out of the, couple dozen of you I've interviewed, they're either like addicted and they're like, they call it rotting, which I think is hilarious. They just doom scroll and whatever. And others want nothing to do with it. TikTok seems to be the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a Facebook because of their job. Instagram seems dead in the water.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I do scroll too on TikTok. Like it's not.
It's entertainment.
Like, yeah. But yeah, like Instagram, go on there maybe once a month.
Yeah. Just to see what's up.
Yeah.
What about social media for like dating? I mean, you were in a whole different world. You didn't know anyone. With COVID, it seemed like, especially the guys would tell me this, like they went right to the apps. And people didn't have the experiences like your generation, according to the studies, your class has far less sex than we did at that age. And part of it they're saying is like, you guys don't hang out in person like we did. If we wanted to meet somebody, you went to the bar.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have that. So talk to me a little bit about your experience or the people around you. Like, what was dating like?
There's a lot of online. I started dating my boyfriend my freshman year. Most of it, like I've, been dating him, and so I haven't been as involved with it. But like looking at like my friends and stuff, it's a lot of like, Tinder or Hinge or whatever the other ones are. Yeah, a lot of that.
A couple of the girls said like they went their whole college career going out to bars or whatever, game days and stuff, and had never been approached by a guy. And they're all pretty. That's not it.
Yeah.
It's that, they're like, and the guy said this too, like they're scared to go up to a girl, which you're always scared, but like that was the only way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that kind of in person, I feel like everybody seemed to be craving, but didn't know how to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you kind of feel like the same thing is happening out there, or? I know it's hard for you.
Yeah.
Dating someone your freshman year.
No, I feel like it is like that. Like even like going out to parties, like my freshman year, like some of the guys would, but yeah, it seemed like there was like a disconnect there, and like both sides were just like too scared to approach the other person, and that meant that a lot of it was happening on like social media instead.
Right.
Definitely.
Where it felt safer, but the connection is
the connection isn't there as much, but yeah, it feels like lower stakes because if you decide, I don't like them, you just don't respond and
and move on.
And move on. Yeah.
The past 4 years thrust a lot of social issues. I mean, right after you guys had your quasi graduation, Black Lives Matter happened, then Roe versus Wade, then all this Hamas stuff and everything. Has all of that desensitized you or made you a little bit more aware? Like, how has that affected you?
I think for me, it's like desensitized me. Like now when stuff happens, it's just like, oh, like it's just like another thing that happens almost. Like, yeah, I feel like there's just been so much that like you can't focus on all of it and like care deeply about all of it because there's just like too many things happening. I feel like I've definitely been desensitized. I feel like that's a hard part with social media too, is there's a lot of misinformation. And even if the true information is out there, it's hard to tell if it's true or not. So I feel like that's kind of a part of it too, is like with social media, if something happens, you see it a lot more than, you see it on the news or something like that. So I think that helps you to become sensitized because it's all around you like 24/7.
Yeah. You're right in line with everybody else. They're just kind of, it's too much.
Yeah.
I just have a couple more questions, Sydnie. Okay. Well, personally, are you still playing at all? Not in Big So.
No.
Nobody is.
No.
Nobody.
I want to, but obviously I can't bring my bass to Idaho and they're expensive.
Yeah.
So I want to like save up and get one and get back into it. And I'll play a little bit like when I go home, but I just don't have the money to buy a bass.
What do you think people misunderstand about 22/23-year-olds today? Like people my age and older.
I feel like people don't understand that we can be good critical thinkers, especially with social media and seeing just so much information coming at once. We become, I think, really good at understanding when things might be fake or, understanding that you can't just take things at face value and you have to kind of research and look into it more. And so I think that a lot of like the older generations don't really understand that we have those critical thinking skills.
Wow, that's pretty impressive that you said that. And the first thing I thought when you said that is like, yes, you guys have the critical thinking skills because of social media. And I feel like the older generation doesn't.
No, like the like boomers and that kind of generation.
They just fall for it all.
They fall for it all and believe it all. But because we grew up with it, we kind of learned at a really young age that you can't believe it all.
My final question for you is, what are you going to do with your one big life?
I think two things. One, I really want to go to vet school and become a veterinarian. That's super important to me. Then the other thing is traveling. I think traveling is really important to learn about other cultures and other people. And, it's almost easier to do when you're young because you're more able-bodied. You can do more things. So I want to have traveled, definitely.
Oh, good for you. Have you gone anywhere?
I've been to Mexico. Went to Mexico over like last Christmas. My boyfriend's dad actually got married there and then paid for like everything, which was super nice.
That's nice.
But that was really cool. And that made me want to do it 10 times more.
Right? You're like, wow, there's a whole world out there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Laying Fallow. Be sure to listen to the rest of the episodes, and to learn more and see the portraits from both 2020 and 2024, head over to my website, www.donnavonbruning.com, or to my Instagram, @DonnaVonBruning.